Hey, this is Chris Pearson. We're going to do a new thing on this channel, and this is stories from my dad. My dad is Robert Pearson. He has a doctorate in chemistry from the University of California, so he is known as Dr. Bob. And he's going to tell the story, one of the stories, when he was in the Army. And this is a very funny story. And he was in the Army he graduated high school in 1948, and he enlisted in the Army and was sent to the Presidio in San Francisco to play trumpet. So this is his story about a tenor sax player not knowing what was going on. This is Dr. Bob.
Yes. The tenor sax player was named Alfonso Apodaca. And the powers to be one day issued us a lot of strange looking gear, like a rifle and a backpack and combat boots. Now in those days, combat boots were made inside out. And when they issued the combat boot, there was a can of what they called dubbin in each boot. And there was, you were to reach in the boot and pull out the can of dubbin, and there was a note on the can of dubbin that said, "Throw this can of dubbin away." Now, I don't know why they just didn't throw it away, but they didn't, being the Army. And anyway, they told us that the 6th Army Band at that time, which was a good band actually, was the emergency unit for the Presidio. They were to take care of any emergencies like earthquakes or something like that. Now, I'm not sure what the Army Band would have done if we'd have had an earthquake. Probably run somewhere. But anyway, the CO came in one morning who was a strange guy. He was a good musician, but he was GI as hell. And those things just don't go together. But anyway, his name was Nathan A. Kamak. And Nathan A. Kamak and I dearly grew to hate each other before I got out of the Army. But anyway, he told us that we were the emergency unit for the Presidio of San Francisco, actually. And if some night, the lights would come on, the whistles would blow about 4 o'clock in the morning, and we were to go out and save something. I guess San Francisco. I don't know what we were saving. But anyway, he said, now, this is what you do when that happens, because that's certainly going to happen. And the commanding general of the 6th Army at that time was Mark Clark, because Mark Clark was a star above everybody else. He was a 6-star general, a 4-star general. And a 4-star general's got to have an army, so they reactivated the 6th Army, which was the army that was in the Pacific, was MacArthur's army during the Second World War. And they set it up at the Presidio, and this was Mark Clark's band. The 6th Army Band was Mark Clark's band. And so the CO said, now this is what you do when you have this emergency drill. And it turns out that the day that he gave the little talk in front of the band about what to do, Alfonso Apodaca was on KP. So he didn't hear the talk. And certainly it happened one night, about 4 o'clock in the morning. The whistles blew, the lights came on, the MPs came storming in. I don't know what the MPs were going to do. But anyway, we all put on our gear, our helmets. We had helmets, steel helmets, and backpacks, and whatever, and carried our carbines because we wouldn't have known what to do with an M1. We all had a little carbine, and we lined up, and a staff car came up, and who was in the staff car but Mark Clark himself? And he looked like he'd been out all night, half juiced, at least, and so he came up, walked up the line, and Alfonso Apodaca was two men ahead of me. And whose shoulder did he put his hand on? The general, Mark Clark himself, but Alfonso Apodaca. And he said to Alfonso, he said, "Soldier, what are you doing out here?" And Al looked at him and said, "General, I don't have the faintest idea what I'm doing here." He said, "The whistles blew, the lights came on. They gave me all this stuff that I have no idea what to do with." And told us to get out of here and save the city. Mark Clark started to giggle. And the more he thought about it, the more he giggled. And finally he said, "Oh, what the hell?" He says, "It's cold out here. Let's go home and go to bed." And so we all went home and went to bed.
Awesome.
And that's how we saved the city.
Okay, that's story number 1 from Tales from My Dad. If you want to hear more of things like this, leave me a comment, and we'll see what what stories we can come up with. These are stories. He's got great ones from the time that he was in the Reno Off Night Band, time that he was in the Army, time he was in Northern California politics. So we got more to come. Talk to you soon. Thanks.